What's up, Knucklehead Nation? We got a lot to talk about today, baby. We got a Thai Thunder came to MSG, New York City, baby, and got paid shekels and went home slaying the dragon, number one pound-for-pound fighter. I'm talking about Siscreet Sor Rungzavi, baby. What's up? You're listening to Knucklehead Nation. I'm Joey El Gallo, and I'm here with the gringo malo, Tommy, the genie. The bad gringo. You're a bad gringo. El gringo malo.
He's trying to get that nickname to stick. It's not Nick. I'm not gringo malo.
The gringo malo.
No.
Listen, so
I'm a pleasant, loving genie.
What's up, Knucklehead Nation? New York, Knucklehead Nation. Britain, Knucklehead Nation. Thai, Knucklehead Nation. Nicaraguan, Knucklehead Nation. Who lost? California, Knucklehead Nation. Brooklyn, Knucklehead Nation. Moscow, Knucklehead Nation. Montenegro, Knucklehead Nation. North Korea, Knucklehead Nation. Russia, Knucklehead Nation. Australia, Knucklehead Nation. India, Knucklehead Nation.
Double shout out to the UK because we've been leaving them out.
Yeah, UK, Knucklehead Nation. Let's go, baby. Yeah. I am so excited for today. You're listening to Loaded Gloves NYC, broadcasting from the Loaded Glove Studios in Lower Manhattan. I'm Joey El Gallo. I'm here with Tommy the Genie. Let's talk about Triple G Jacobs, Roman Gonzalez versus Siscreet Sor Rungzavi at MSG. Check us out on Facebook at The Loaded Gloves, 90,000 strong. Thank you to Knucklehead Nation, all our fans. We love you. Find us on Univision. Find us on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, SoundCloud. You can get there through our Facebook. The Loaded Gloves team was there at MSG. Tommy, the Genie, and I, and Scotty Casual was there. What a night for the Loaded Gloves team in New York City.
Yes, it was.
So
it was the night the Casuals died.
The night the Casuals died. They didn't know what to do in that place.
I had Captain Casual behind me.
Oh, my God. There's so many.
The guy who was talking crap about the Thai the whole night. Me and you, when this fight got announced, are probably the only two people in the world that didn't go, oh, come on, Roman's fighting an easy one. He's fighting a tomato can. He's going to move right past the guy. He's a nobody. He's a Thai guy. See, the Thai guy's what got us nervous. These Thai guys can bang. I'm not fan club. I mean, you're talking about two guys that we actually are probably the only guys to click on YouTube and watch Thai fights.
Yeah, we're the only ones who actually researched the guy. Yep. When this fight was announced, we didn't know who he was, but we said, "Oh my God, a Thai guy is coming over to New York to MSG."
A Thai guy with a KO percentage almost as high as Roman's. Yeah. That's the thing that scared me. A Thai guy with a lot of power.
Guy's got
he's a beast. Looks like a little Manny Pacquiao guy with just power, man. He knocked down Roman in the first round.
Body shot.
He knocked down the pound-for-pound champ.
He headbutted him 3 times. That was a classic Thai beating.
All everybody wants to talk about is the next fight about how good Jacobs looked against Triple G. Don't you understand, people? A guy flew over from Thailand and got paid $1 to make a fight to be the next step for Roman Gonzalez and knocked him down. He almost knocked out the pound-for-pound fighter. And everybody just wants to talk about the other fight. That's why you can't advance these little guys like this. It's a shame because this kid now should be a main event. Meanwhile, he'll probably fight next month in Thailand in front of 11 people
He'll
again.
fight twice the next 2 months.
The guy has 2 fights overseas, and it was Quadras and Roman Gonzalez. So don't say the Thai guys don't fight him.
So this guy
behind me, I wanted to throw him.
And so Tommy and I knew this was a dangerous fight just because it was a Thai guy coming over here. These Thai guys are so tough, and they beat you down. Tackling,
and
headbutting,
fight every week if they have
fighting cleanly, dirty. So this guy gets paid $75,000 to come over to MSG and fight the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. What the boxing casual public doesn't know that this guy basically got the WBC belt. He was a champion stolen from him by the corrupt WBC Suleiman and Quadras.
Yes.
Okay, stolen from him. So then he comes back and gets redemption. He comes here and beats at MSG. He beats Roman, the number 1 pound-for-pound guy in the world. And when the fight started, Tommy and I looked at each other like, oh, my God, it's going to happen. And I knew. I had a feeling in my gut since it was announced. But once we saw that first round, obviously the knockdown. But before that, I said, oh, my
Yeah.
God. We knew. We looked at each other like he's going to win.
The kid behind me, that guy behind me was just like, these Thai guys fighting nothing. Watch, he's telling his girlfriend, he's like trying to impress this girl he's with. He's like, watch this. That was nothing.
Yeah.
Roman's going to wear him down. It'll be over in 6 rounds. He'll end up knocking him out. No, you don't wear a Thai guy down. They never stop throwing.
That's a good point.
They don't stop
That's a
throwing
good
punches
point.
ever. They're not the kind. They don't take rounds off. Now, I do think he took the last round off because he knew he was ahead. But he didn't. 150 punches a round is not taking the any rounds off, in my opinion. I mean, the guy. God, it was. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like Roman as a person.
Me too.
I kind of think Roman went up in weight classes
Yep.
too fast.
Yep.
He doesn't spend enough time in each weight class. He's still young. This is not his weight class. He's shown flaws at this weight class in all 3 fights he's had
Yep.
in this weight class. He gets hit more. His face gets marked up. His power's not as prominent as it is
Yep.
when he's lighter. The only thing Roman will still always have, he will outwork everybody.
Yeah.
He will outwork everybody.
He's tough, man. That blood down his
Yeah,
face.
exactly. But the Thai guy was working almost as hard, but with a little bit more pop in his punches.
Exactly. And I got to tell you, credits to Roman for. And another thing is, there's so many casuals around us at fights.
Oh, God.
Especially.
I think MSG was worse than Barclays, hands
yeah.
down. That's a casual
Better crowd. Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible night. It's always a better atmosphere at MSG, but, you know, Roman,
yes.
credit to him for fighting the way he did. Roman's incredible, okay? So he goes from number 1 to number 4 on the pound-for-pound list, whatever. The guy's still a 4-time world champion, the best ever from Nicaragua, and I love him, but you know what? I love this just as much as I love
It's incredible.
Because this kid...
It's a story now. It's a good story.
And you know what's scary? And once again, the Thai guys go into your backyard.
These Thai guys might start clipping some belts, man. You got the other guy, Naknoy CP Freshmart, going against Kazuki Oka. You got isn't Knockout CP Freshmart? That guy's fighting a champion soon too. I think he's fighting Wang Hang or something like that.
Well, I was looking.
So I mean, you might have Thai guys taking some major belts in the next 3 to 6 months.
Well,
except in like the heavyweight division, because they can't get that big. But
can you imagine?
They can't.
Can you imagine how our lives would change if there was a Thai heavyweight who was good?
I don't even think there's a Thai middleweight.
No, it's definitely not.
I don't think so.
In kickboxing, definitely there is.
Yeah,
but not
I
in
think,
boxing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna ever see a Thai guy take like Kovalev down or.
By the way, this is interesting talking about Thai guys. If you look at the top 20 fighters in the world, top 10, you have 2 Japanese guys, Triple G, who's Asian technically. You have a Russian guy. You have a Ukrainian guy. That's what I love is the international aspect. You only have 2 guys realistically on the top 10 that are American.
Who was Andre Ward?
Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford.
And they both deserve to be there, even though I don't want to admit
Yeah.
I don't like Andre Ward, but he deserves to be in top 10.
I
Pound
agree.
for pound, no, but
and
Crawford, of course.
Yeah, but he's got to start fighting people again.
He's his first fight at the weight class. If you're telling me that,
he is moved up.
I
didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm
No.
pretty sure.
I didn't know that. I mean, so what a night. We had an incredible night, one of the best ever. Then the main event starts. Okay. And you have Kazakh Nation there. And
yeah, I don't think they watch boxing. I think they go on like the Kazakh Travel Channel and just follow Triple G because they do not watch any other fight. They watched the other kid that was fighting that was like one of his stablemates, which was like earlier. But they just like to take pictures with flags. They all look the same.
Yeah.
And that's not a racist thing. They just have that. You can tell when there's a Kazakh stand fan.
Yeah.
And they just smiling. They're pleasant people though. They don't start fights in
You're
the
right.
stands.
They are
don't.
nice people.
They all shake. Everybody was shaking my hand because I kept saying "Go Triple G," and they were like, "Yes, yes, yes." That's about all they could say. But they're not fans though. Like I think I hate to say it. I think Scotty Casual hit on something when he said that. I was like, at first I was like, nah, they follow all the other Kazakh fighters around. Then I'm like watching them, and they're not even looking in the ring.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's more of a show.
They eat like food like they've never seen food before, and they drink, and I'd love to hang out with them, but they didn't have. They had probably had the largest fan base there, but
definitely.
no fan base was as vocal as Jacobs. Because
Yeah,
Jacobs
that's true.
brought the hood, man, and like this like working class people there, and they was loud. They were good people. Listen, I like Danny Jacobs, but
It's funny you say that because, and this is my theory on it, the Kazakh fans with Triple G, they've never had this before. They've never had a guy who sells out MSG or arenas around the world. You know what I'm
Sells it out
saying?
easily, yeah.
So I get that you're gonna have the casuals now, and I said this too. The Kazakhstan Olympic and amateur program is one of the best in the world. So I think the Kazakh fans that are like working class in Kazakhstan know they're boxing, but the ones that are filling up MSG are casuals. Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. It's a weird crowd. It's kind of like it was at UFC 205. It's people going there just to like say, hey, let's just go see this fight. There's money in the area, obviously. It's MSG. It's the heart of New York City.
These Kazakhs had money. You could tell.
Yeah, there's money. There's money. Roman had a nice little following all the way up in the 300 section. Jacobs had that whole other side of the ring. Like he had his whole crowd there.
Now, I will say, let me just say something.
Should we address this Jacobs Triple G fiasco?
So, here's what we feel. There's no controversy in that decision. If anything, I think it was a good decision. For once, the New York judges got it right. Because Jacobs fans, you delusional Jacobs fans, he got knocked down, which made it a 10-8 round. Thus, the win. I am totally fine with that decision. Now, did I think they were going to steal the belt from him? Yes, I did. I thought
they were going to steal it from
I
Triple
thought
G?
New York was going to steal it from Triple G.
I don't know. I think the HBO was scrambling because their other A-side just lost the undercard, and HBO was like, do something. We can't lose him. We can't lose Triple G. We can't lose GGG, as Lampley would say.
I think Triple G looked good.
Yeah,
I mean, listen.
He looked great fighting.
He was fighting
a light heavyweight.
Yeah. Jacobs skipped the IBF weigh-in the day of, so he couldn't win that belt. And he came in at 175 or 180. And you know what? Triple G was fighting the top middleweight in the world that bulked up to light heavyweight. What do you think he's just going to, not box him? These casuals, these Jacobs fans are walking around like they won the fight. And Jacobs...
He looked great.
He looked great, but you know too, he didn't hit Triple G with anything significant. They were like Algieri punches. They were like avocado punches.
Okay, well, but listen, Algieri...
Carrying a spit bucket.
Algieri did good with him, though, man. He looked like she was fit. That was the fittest I've ever seen Jacobs look in my life. He looked like a monster.
He did, but he also
Although, according
lost.
to a couple of light heavyweights I spoke to, he literally was in the ring at a light heavyweight after weigh-in. Like 181 or something like that, which is nuts. Triple G looked tiny.
He did. He looked small. Triple G cannot move up.
No, I don't think he can gain a pound.
No.
I think he's got some freakish physique.
He does, and he's like Rigondeaux.
Super middle would be hard for him. Super middle, man. Look, you put him in the ring against like a Badu Jock or not even Badu Jock went up, but you against like DeGale and them, they're going to dwarf
way
him.
Bigger. Yeah,
he'd still beat DeGale though.
They're way bigger. He's just, and he stays. Like, I follow Triple G, and he'll post, like, his 30-day, and he's, like, 165, you know? Like,
I think
the guy's a machine.
The problem with Jacob's game plan is it was good, but there's no – against Triple G, you can't have a winning game plan because he looked great because he was moving, and he was hard to hit, and Triple G couldn't get off. But in the same token, the reason the decision went to Triple G is because he never stood in the pocket and exchanged with him. So you kind of – your game plan that helped you look that good also helped beat you at the same time. So
I think Kell Brook landed – in 3 rounds. In 3 rounds, Kell Brook landed better shots than Jacobs did all fight.
He did, but Jacobs, his movement was good, man. I can't take anything away from the fight, but
that knockdown came quick though too. Triple G, man,
he couldn't. I just was not used to seeing Triple G not throw those wild flurries and like he couldn't get off, like he couldn't get that punch off, man. The rest of the card, I don't even remember who fought on the rest of the card. I know we saw. Don't listen if you're gonna fly Andy Left Hook Lee over to the United States for a fight, don't put him on at 6:30. I mean, come on.
Boring, though.
I know, but he deserves, being that he's fought nothing but champions in his life.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
doesn't run from anyone. It's like what they did to Fonfara at the Barclays. You don't do that. You don't put a guy like that.
His life will never be the same.
As who, Fonfara?
Yeah.
But Lee, then Lee's barely beating the guy he's fighting, and he's calling out the winner of the main event. Didn't get that at all. I don't even remember some of the other fights.
So
I didn't even partake in a lot of alcohol that night, which is scary.
ESPN Boxing has Triple G as number 1, I think.
Yeah, but the ring's got Ward.
The ring's got Ward. We're gonna do a show on that though. By the way.
Yes, but where do you think this? But we're flipping out about the Roman fight. But where does that fight? Well, actually, that fight really shakes up their divisions too.
Yeah,
that fight shakes up
Quadras,
everything. And now Roman wants his rematch, but now technically speaking, this guy who's only has to fight Quadras, and Quadras he was on the undercard.
Yeah,
boring fight.
Boring.
But
I'm not a Quadras fan. I'm not okay. My takeaways are.
But Quadras fights like a Mexican, and I like that. He doesn't run. He stands there and throws.
Now this brings up what happens with Triple G and where does each guy go? Now we know Triple G looks like he's gonna fight Billy Joe Saunders.
Which he'll win.
And get the WBO strap. I have to tell you something. I'm back in love with Billy Joe Saunders because he said, they interviewed him. He goes, I don't give a F about Triple G. If he wants to go fight in one of those Borat tents in Kazakhstan, I'll fight him. He's so funny.
Yes.
So,
but let's see if he ever backs it up. He's a great Twitter guy.
Yeah, he's a great interviewer. But so I see Triple G going to BJ Saunders, beating him, taking the WBO. However, Oscar De La Hoya is all over the internet saying that's disrespectful to boxing. Disrespectful that you're going to take the chance. You're going to fight Billy Joe Saunders and risk getting hurt, serious injury. We're not giving enough time to promote the fight. And he's basically getting an out saying you disrespected us and the boxing and the fans by taking this Billy Joe Saunders fight and fighting
but then
twice.
He also wrote on Twitter that he doesn't think that that's a mandatory fight now fighting Triple G because he looked beatable. He'll find any excuse, man.
He's the worst.
God, I hope Chavez knocks his head off and we don't have to worry about it.
He looks good. I was looking at
stuff
yesterday.
Good. He looks really good.
This is like what
this middleweight division's fun if they will fight each other. Because Jacobs.
And so Jacobs I think he should fight Lemieux.
I don't think he's going to take another fight. I think Jacobs is the kind of guy, unfortunately, that we know that'll just now wait. And now all Jacobs fans won't see him fight for 9 months to a year. Because he'll just sit around telling everybody, I beat Triple G. I really beat him. He should have given me a rematch. No. Triple G wants all the belts. Triple G made it clear he wants all the belts. Let him go get his belts.
I think he should.
Yes.
And BJ Saunders goes too. Yeah, I know what you want. You want your belts? Give me my belt. Give me my belt. I got your belt right here. I got something you want. You know what? Can you imagine if? Can you just imagine? Can you imagine if the gypsy gods, the gypsy boxing gods? Can you imagine the mayhem?
What if Saunders wins?
He would have to knock him out.
But I'll tell you one thing though: if Saunders wins, the Saunders Eubank fight in the UK will be the largest grossing fight in the history of boxing in the UK. And it absolutely will be because they hate each other. The press loves both of them. They're both big mouths, loud mouths, crazies. Yeah. That fight, that's the one we go to. If that ever happens,
I can't believe.
Oh yes,
and BJ Saunders hates Eubank. He will not give him a fight because he says he doesn't want to give him the money.
Eubank's getting stale, and he needs to get something. Does he have something coming up? He needs to get something going up.
Who knows?
But I like that weight class now.
So
I like it.
We know where Triple G's headed most likely. We don't know if there's going to be a fight with a Canelo. At this point, I don't even care anymore, to be honest. I'm so sick of the talk. Now,
because Canelo, every fight becomes such a spectacle.
Yeah.
And the fight never lives up to the hype. Never.
So what else do we have in I think that's it. That's the only place I see those two guys going. Jacobs is going to sit out. He's going to milk it. He'll be back at the Barclays in 9 months. And Triple G's going to go fight.
I don't think Jacobs is going to fight. You know that. I don't think Jacobs has it in him to ever stop talking about how he got robbed. He's one of the classless comment in the ring. What did he say again?
He's horrible. I can't stand Danny Jacobs.
But what did he say in the ring? Yeah, meanwhile, what's the problem is that nobody wants to talk about two people that in this weight class that are getting left out. I think they're ranked number 2 and 4. Is you never hear Lara.
No, he's 154.
No, Lara's in the same. Is he 154? Yeah, he's right. He's 154. And now you got Charlo.
154. Lara's the WBA champ. Charlo's the WBC who's fighting soon. The bad Charlo.
Well, yeah, the bad Charlo. But
Jarrett Hurd is the IBF. This is 154.
No, let's not do 154. Let's find
160 is.
Who do we got?
Oh my God, Endom is the WBA regular.
All right, so he's out because he's
a Triple G mandatory. Can you imagine that knockout?
He's not even alive. He's not.
Can you
how he's even alive is no. Aren't?
Can you imagine the knockout of Triple G versus Endom? Endom would he could probably get up though.
Lemieux deserves to be thrown back into the mix because he looked impressive.
Oh, what a knockout.
He's the only guy now that I can say, and you can say the same thing, that fought Triple G, lost, and doesn't look like he lost a thing. He looks just as sharp as he did before. And he said he'd fight him again. He doesn't care.
Oh, and you're right. He got knocked down by a body shot, right?
Yes. He didn't get beat up by Triple G.
He just got
and
jabbed,
he's back.
yeah.
And that jab is nuts.
Well, Triple G's jab backs you up. It's unbelievable.
Now, it's amazing. I'm looking at the rankings now. Dominic Waits and Willie Monroe is still in the top 10. So let's not talk about how deep the middleweights are. The two guys with that Dominic Wade face is still in the...
Oh, my God. Hublot has a Triple G watch.
Right,
He's sponsored by Hublot.
So let's get it. What does it look like?
I couldn't afford... Oh, my God.
That's gorgeous.
That's
the colors
beautiful.
of Kazakhstan. That's the flag.
Yeah, that is... But it's not like corny. Like, it's done well.
Does it say Triple G anywhere, though? No. How much is that?
I'm sure on the back. So, yeah, look at the back. Triple G.
How much is that?
It's probably
10,
Hublot's
20,000. Not expensive. They're not that.
Yeah, it is.
$5,000. I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you, it's not.
There's no way it's $5,000. That is $5,000.
It is really expensive. I'm telling you.
I don't think it's for sale. It looks like they just made it.
No, they do these for all the. This is an expensive watch, bro.
I know Hublot's, but I know this. They're not all. Look at a Triple G in that picture. I love him. I love the guy. Now, do you think there could be any truth to the rumor that maybe he is slowing down a bit, or do you think that's just all talk?
I think. Oh, look, it says Triple G right here at 12 o'clock. You know the Kazakhs are going to wear that.
If they can afford it. But do you think, seriously though, do you think there's any truth to that now?
I don't. People underestimate. He fought a really good guy who was up 175.
181, actually, they're saying now. They're saying he was 181 ridiculous. Going into the ring. Listen, I will give a shout-out to Algerian Dave Scooter Honig.
Oh, yeah. I never knew his real name.
Because, tell you what, Danny Jacobs' conditioning and nutritional crew definitely was on point, man. I still think his corner guy had a game plan that had no chance of winning. And I think you got to stand with Triple G. Kell Brooks stood in the pocket with him and hit him.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he stood and was uppercut and ripping. It seems like Triple G can get hit by uppercuts because Jacob ripped a few on him, too. Yeah. That's what I'm telling you, man. Charlo's the guy. Charlo is the guy.
Like if Charlo caught him with a tight, like an uppercut and a tight left or right.
Charlo against Julian Williams was just like standing in the pocket tight with his guard tight, ripping uppercuts up the middle.
I think
like
he could
Charlo,
knock
man.
him down, and Charlo's a big dude.
Yeah, I like Charlo, man. Me and Joey will always be the first two guys to be really critical of somebody, and then flip if they prove us wrong. And you know what? We used to always throw the Charlos in with the Durrells. But the Charlos fight. You know, I hated the Charlos years ago because it seemed like, but they got brought up the right way, and now they're all fighting for titles. I think, in fact, Jamel's fighting.
No, they both have titles.
Yeah, but Jamel's fighting for another belt, I think.
Oh, really?
The younger one, the one, the lighter one, the 154 Charlo. Yeah, like them, man. Stop looking at Triple G watches.
Trying to find the Triple G watch. All right, so listen, great night in New York. MSG, Triple G Jacobs, no controversy there. Triple G won, and then the story, one of the boxing stories of the year.
HBO still sucks.
HBO's the worst.
HBO still
garbage.
Sucks.
Siskreet, Sor, Rungzavi, we love you. Shout out to Knucklehead Nation, Thai Knucklehead Nation, baby. Congratulations to Sor, Rungsavi. Congratulations, Thailand. We love you guys. You can find us on Loaded Gloves. You can find us on Facebook at The Loaded Gloves, on TuneIn Radio, on iTunes, on Facebook. We love you, Knucklehead Nation. We're going to come back with The Freak Show, the Loaded Glove Top 10 Freaks, baby. We out. Adios, Gringo Malo.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.